Broadcasting live from a hidden studio high atop Southwest Portland. This is Quarantine TV.
Hi there, it's me again. I'm Matt McCourt. You're on Quarantine TV, and I'm taking over from Madison Avenue. He's busy on vacation. He's at wrestling camp at the retirement center. Just kidding, of course. But tonight, we're going to go back in time a little bit, back to a time since everybody seems to get a little bit uptight about this pandemic and staying home and all this. I'm going to take us back to a time when things seemed a little bit more fun, a little bit more easy before it got rough, and everybody was into having a good time. And people had a great time. They still have a great time with this band, the regional legends called Johnny Limbo and the Lugnuts, who I worked for on the crew for from 1998 till 1999. It was, a couple of years. And on the crew was guitarist from Wild Dogs, Jeff Horton. He was the monitor guy. He had the hardest job of all because there was 9 guys in the band and they all wanted different mixes and they all changed positions all night long. So for a few songs, they'd be standing at some mics, and then other songs, 2 of them would be over here, and you got to adjust the mixes for each person. And he got yelled at. And, we got to play with a lot of great, legends. Like, you'll see the Marvelettes and the Lion Sleeps Tonight, the Tokens, and Paul Revere and the Raiders. And it was just a really good time. I got really tired of sitting in the middle seat of this 35-foot Mack truck with Jack Schmer on one side and Jeff on the other, because I was a shorter guy of the 3 guys. It was a 4-man crew. We had a guy named Sunshine. He was from Eugene. Go figure. The lighting guy. And that was my roommate. So we got to stay in great motels and hotels and, really nice places, and better than I'd ever gotten for being a rock star. We had $50 per diem to eat every day, and we got paid like $250 a night. My job was to hit the venue, find the promoter or the venue manager, and do the load in, get that all taken care of, and then make sure that our rider, which was quite intensive, there was like 3 or 4 cases of wine, cases of beer, cases of pop. For us, when we got food and beverage, when we got there to set up, it was like film. I'd come from working on films when Mongo, my friend Mongo, who unfortunately has joined the ranks of the afterlife, and we lost the biggest rock fan in the universe when Mongo left.
Year and the year before, but I'm betting that this crowd tonight can do better than all 10,000 of them. It's time for your spelling lesson. Are you ready to help me? Because God, I need the help. Now, you look above you, you might see a few microphones. You know what we're doing tonight? We're recording. So don't let me down. Okay, here we go. Let's make Phil both proud.
What we did was, we get in this truck, we go over to Jerry Hoffman's house, Johnny Limbo, pick up this 35-foot Mack truck, loaded to the gills, overloaded with all the gear, because we brought our own production, sound, lights, all the back line, drums, stuff for the dressing room. And the dressing room, because they change clothes about every other song, my job was taking care of the dressing room, all the wardrobe, and it was like a clothing store, man, except the people hung up their stuff. But it was trials and tribulations of being on the road with Johnny Limbo, and that's what this little short one is about. Yeah, we were busy every weekend. There may be a month where we didn't work 2 weeks, and the rest of the time we were out. We never played bars, never, not one. It was always big theaters and hotel ballrooms and showrooms, and it was great. And so they're in their 40th year now. When I was in the band, it was his 20th anniversary, and I got them booked onto KATU's AM Northwest show. I got them booked on there a couple times for Christmas. Well, hey, enough of my yakking. Let's just go, cut to it, and check it out with Johnny Limbo and the Lugnuts having a good time during the pandemic of 2020. I'll see you in a little bit. I came back from visiting my dad. I spent 2 weeks in Hawaii, most of it underwater and scuba diving. And the first day I came back, I had to go to work, and it was Johnny Limbo and the Lugnuts, the Marvelettes, and the Tokens at the Salem Armory. Salem Armory? Yeah, it was a Salem Armory. And so here, let's take a couple of shots here. Oh, man, I'll tell you, the Marvelettes were great. That lead singer, and I think it was her nieces that were singing with her, they came in, they had a backup band, there was local guys, and she cracked them into shape within 20 minutes. She had all these hand signals that she would like wiggle her tush to, signal something and snap her fingers a couple of times, and she went through all of the signals before they started. They're doing it off sheet music, so they got to watch her butt. You got to watch her wiggle and her snap and the sheet music at the same time, but they sounded great. Their big hit, Heat Wave. And let's take a look at that with the Marvelettes in Salem, Oregon.
what were you saying? The beach was 77777. No, there is no number like that. Beach 145-789, and every time we point to you, that'll be your turn to sing nice and loud. So get ready. Here we go. Bring it up. Come on.
We did a couple of shows with the Tokens. I think the Balloon Festival in Tigard was one of them. And they're all brothers, these guys. And they write and record all the music for all the soap operas and a lot of television shows in New York. And so every time I think of this song, every time I think of them, I think of this song. And this time, because it was, I kept waiting for somebody to say, "You're in the Pumbaa parking lot," like in the Lion King thing. And this is The Lion Sleeps Tonight, their big hit. And here we go.
Peaceful village, the lion sleeps tonight. Okay, it's my turn now. Let's hear you do that now. Okay, my turn again.
After every show, and all during the show, these guys sold just tons of merchandise. They had sweatshirts, t-shirts, coffee cups, beer mugs, they had a whole line of merchandise. And at the end of the shows, especially out of town, like in this theater in Everett, Washington, put on by the sheriffs, and they line up out in front of the stage, and then the people come down and they get autographs. I mean, it's like a real thing. And the after show thing goes for a while. And we'd be tearing down, but I usually got video. I got video of all kinds of stuff. I took my video camera to every show because I knew, hey, it'll be great. Someday we'll look back in here and go, man, those were great times, And I'm hoping by the end of this pandemic, we might think, these are great times. But right now, we're having quarantine TV, and I'm your host, Matt McCourt, and if you want more information, go to usmetal.com. That's my newly remodeled website, and I've been working on it since the schools closed in March, and I'm tired of looking at it, actually, but you'll find everything you need there. We'll be right back. Hey, let's have a word from our non-existent sponsor from when I made all the commercials for when we did Portland Wrestling for WB32 in 2000 at the turn of the century. And this is one of the ads we used, and these guys were nuts. Vacuum Factory.
Are you tired of wrestling with your old vacuum? Come to the Vacuum Factory. We can fix your old vacuum or set you up with a new one. Choose from a large selection of new or used vacuums starting at $29.95. The Vacuum Factory has top name brands in stock including Eureka, Sanitaire, Panasonic, Sharp, Gold Star, and Lewitt. The Vacuum Factory repairs all makes and models and carries all your vacuum bags and parts. So stop by the Vacuum Factory today.
So the Lugnuts recorded a Christmas album at Jeff Horton's studio, and we're going to have a Christmas show. They have a Christmas show, they have a Halloween gig, and a Christmas show every year at the Airport Convention Center, which is by the Holiday Inn, but it's a separate building that holds like 2,500 people. So we played at Channel 2 twice, and Jeff Gianolo was in there. He's all getting ready to do the news, because we set up the night before. We went in the night before and set everything up. So they had the full accompaniment with the monitors. And it was pretty awesome. Johnny Limbo at Channel 2 for the AM Northwest show. And I can't remember if this is a Christmas one or the one promoting the 20th anniversary gig, which sold out in like an hour after this airing. And that was my whole point, was to promote the show and get people there, which is another part of my job I kind of took on as my own task, and it worked.
He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh, and every mother's child.
first Christmas CD.
And some of the proceeds are going to go to Dornbecker.
That's right. We've been working with Dornbecker for, 15 years or so. We go up and do a little concert for the kids every Christmas season. And this year we decided that we would give some money back to Dornbecker off of this.
You must get a lot of requests, though, for things like that. What?
Years ago, we kind of put the word out to lots of the, charitable organizations. And Dornbecker was the one that came back first and fastest. And we said, kids, let's put your feet on the ground to see what's going on up there. Yeah.
Will you sing one more for us?
I think we can do one more.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Dancing in Jingle Bell Square in the frosty air. What a bright time, it's a right time to rock the night away. A jingle bell time, it's a swell time to go riding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, kick up your feet, jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle and a jingle and beat. That's a jingle bell rock. Kick up your feet, jingle around the block. Mix and a mingle and a jingle and beat. That's a jingle bell rock. That's a jingle bell. That's a jingle bell. That's a jingle bell rock. Look out, old Santa is back.
next episode of Quarantine TV. Because my name is Matt McCord, and you can visit us at usmetal.com, my newly refurbished website. Thank you, and